first thought was good, because I don't care what they have to say about politics. Is that what's going on here?
Well, it is a really interesting policy for these creators to not be allowed to talk about political issues, as Facebook makes a huge deal about not censoring any political speech on its main app and allowing misinformation in ads. And I have to clarify a little bit, because it's not just that they can't talk about elections, they also can't talk about anything that Facebook considers a political issue. So they can't talk about climate change or guns or education or immigration or even health policy, all these things that are just part of the general discussion that you would expect people to want to have. If they get their production costs paid for by Instagram, they can't go there.
So why?
Instagram says that there's a big difference between letting them talk about these things and paying them to talk about these things. But remember, Facebook has a news tab where they're paying all sorts of publishers to talk about politics all the time. So there isn't a lot of consistency across the platforms, despite the fact that Facebook is trying to increase the understanding of the fact that all these things are under the same Facebook umbrella with the same policies and the same data use.
I wonder if this is smart, so that Facebook doesn't appear by paying that they are also endorsing that person's views.
You could see the other side of the story there. Like, if they were to pay for content that becomes political in any direction, then someone would say, well, Instagram paid to have this video made. So it is a little bit of a liability concern there.
Another story that we were talking about, Sarah, was Facebook bundling all of its payments apps now into Facebook Pay. Does this further antagonize regulators who think that this is perhaps maybe a defense mechanism so that Facebook is harder to break up?
Well, there's definitely something to be said for saying Facebook Pay across all of those services, whether it's WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook itself or Messenger, and it's all going to be under the same umbrella. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier about how the company wants to make it very clear that they own all these properties, because what they found out is that the more people understand that Facebook owns WhatsApp and Instagram, they have a more favorable opinion of Facebook. Regulators, of course, are looking at that and saying, you're in the middle of an antitrust investigation by the DOJ, the FTC, by all these attorneys general. You trying to more closely integrate those products at this point looks like a political move.
Sarah, another story as well. Facebook is just the gift that keeps on giving within the news world. And Facebook has been accused in a lawsuit of censorship. They're naming Trump here as a whistleblower. Walk me through this story.
So Facebook has been trying to apply its policies so that there's no harm, there's no attacks on somebody who should be protected, and they thought that the whistleblower was that kind of case. However, their policies are not universally applied. There's a lot of subjectivity, and generally Facebook tends to act when there's public outcry about something. And while this guy got his post taken down, other people haven't, and so this lawsuit is going to bring to light a lot of the editorial decisions that Facebook makes and whether those are fairly applied across all of its users.